Alright, so I noticed that recently my video on our concrete countertops has been getting some more activity and some more comments. So it's kind of an unusual project, and it's really low cost, so it's caught some people's attention. So anyway, it's been a little over 3 years now. I think we finished them in August of 2013. So I thought it'd be a good time to show an update and show how they've held up. So if you never saw the original video, basically what I did is I showed how we built the countertops using 2 layers of 5/8 inch thick plywood that were screwed together and installed as you see, and then we coated them with Ardex Feather Finish concrete with a trowel. That's how it gets that kind of cool mottled look, okay? And then we sanded them smooth, and then they were clear coated. And then one mistake that I did is I did some research into concrete countertops, and I saw that people were using beeswax to help seal them in after they clear coated them. So I tried that out, and I think that was a mistake because it's been really hard to work with that beeswax on there. So anyway, as you can see, they actually, for the price, have held up really great. I think the entire countertop, plus we did the little waterfall side, so there's actually one over here too that you can't see on the other side of the dishwasher there. But we built the entire thing for less than $100. I think it was actually closer to $80. So these were like incredibly inexpensive, and they've held up pretty nice for the price. There are a few things to notice right here in the corner that gets a little action there. It's wore through. It's not too big of a deal. Same thing over here. I think something fell on. I think it was a knife one day hit it and just nicked it. But I mean, that's going to happen. Also, one thing that was noticeable, it happened pretty quickly too, within like a month or two. Our house is kind of old and has shifted around, and where this part of the concrete countertop met this part here are 2 separate panels, and there was a seam there, and you can see how the concrete split there. Same thing over here. So you just got to be careful, if we get them wet, to not get too much water there, because you will see it start to soak in a little water and turn dark. So we've been careful with that. Also, the Ardex is definitely not intended to be used like this. It's actually supposed to be like an underlayment flooring, so you never actually see it. It's not supposed to have this kind of wear on it. That's why I'm surprised at how well it's held up. But it is a little soft. You can see that it has dented up where we've dropped dishes from cleaning dishes and things like that. There's one up here as well. And then you can also kind of see, I don't know if it's going to show here, you can kind of see how texture is starting to pop through of the plywood underneath. And I think that the counters were starting to soak up a little bit of water, and they were starting to make the plywood puff up underneath. So we'll have to be real careful with that. Also, I don't know when this happened, but I just noticed it a couple months ago that we've had a few chips here. So I mean, you can kind of see they're on top of where the plywood texture is starting to pop through again. And this area does get water when we do dishes, so it's probably starting to kind of soak it up a little bit. You can also see how it's starting to wear a little thin right there. You can almost see through it. It's the same thing over here. This is the worst spot. This is our heavy use spot right here, and we've wore through right here. So you can see the plywood starting to pop through, like right there and here. You can also see it has like a weird texture to it now. Most of it is shiny and kind of a semi-gloss, but this section right here has worn through the clear coat through the concrete, and I have never reapplied clear because of that beeswax. I was afraid to put it on top because I didn't know what happened, so this is worn down really weird, but I think that was the user error, and I think I just put our Ardex down a little too thin. I should have went a little thicker. I think it would have been okay. But then if you look at it like here where we lean up against them a lot, these edges have held up great, so that's why I think I was just a little thin here in this area, and it's what we use a lot. Now also, you can see there's a ring here because we set a hot pot on it one time, and obviously that was a mistake because it left a ring there. That was a huge bummer. And another thing, see if it's still there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. That was the bottom of, I think it was an olive oil jar. So it had a little oil on there, and it soaked up oil even through the clear coat. I never understood why it did that. I thought it would protect against that, but it didn't. So you have to be a little careful with them with oil. So like when you're cooking on the stove, say you're cooking a steak, whatever, and it's spitting out some fat, if it drops on here and stays, it will leave marks. So we've been putting a towel on there. So they're a little finicky to take care of. Not bad though, but you just have to be a little careful with them. Like I said, it's a little soft, and I think the biggest mistake I did was putting that beeswax on there, because then I wasn't able to re-clear coat them to help protect them. But anyway, that's kind of the update. We are thinking about maybe changing them out just because of I'm not really sure how to remove that beeswax and redo it. It's gonna be a huge mess. So we're thinking of just putting something else down that would be even easier to maintain, because we use them heavily every day. I do think that for like a table, or even like a, let's say you have like a countertop in a basement for like a, you know, a family get-together room or something like that, I think it'd be totally fine for that. But something that gets a lot of heavy use, just be careful with them, and just know that there will be some wear spots and dings and things like that. But for the most part, especially for 80 bucks for entire countertops, I think they've held out pretty awesome. So there you go, that's a little update. It's been 3 years, I've had people asking about them, so I just kind of wanted to show you what to expect with them.